Almost about to start, y'all. Just setting up. Allowing Google to, YouTube to send the notifications out. Bear with me. We'll get started in about 2 or 3 minutes. Setting up, y'all. 5 minutes. We're gonna be starting. We're going live in 5 minutes. I'm just letting YouTube send out notifications. Going live in 2 or 3 minutes, y'all. Allowing YouTube to give the notifications. We ready. We are ready. All right. I'll tell, I think. All right, I think we ready now. You all set. You ready? I'm going live. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a Saturday episode of TMN Academics. I'll be a professor today, Professor B. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. If y'all saw my show last night, I told y'all that it would be a light show, but today would be a little bit more serious. What we got going on today is we're gonna test this evaporator for leaks. Okay, I'll tell you the story behind it. I'll tell you what's going on. We'll do the test live. I got all the equipment I need, and I'll show you how to do this test. But before we begin that test, if you want to see videos like this moving forward on Saturdays virtually, and they're gonna even get better quality. We got the green screen. We're gonna do like really high-end stuff, but we didn't set it up yet. You know, we just. So anyway, if you want to be a part of that, please go on over to tmmacademics.com. You can sign up over there. Check out what we got going on. This is the kind of stuff we do. You know, stuff you'll be doing out there. And if you want to learn how to do this, please go over to tmmacademics.com. Other news that I got, if you're interested, I got a guest that I'm going to interview next week. He is the CEO of a company called boardbusters.com. This company, I've been using them for a long time. Why? Because they're local. They're right down the street from me, in fact. So if I don't go to the more recognized companies like Corecentrics or Fix My Board, or whoever is in the market of that, if I got to get the job done quick, I take it over to Board Busters, no recalls, get it knocked out. He and I decided that there's a market and the demand for this, and I know a lot of times guys want to fix their own boards, so be on the lookout. Next week I'm going to be interviewing him. So if you have any interest in board repair and you want to come on down and get one-on-one hands-on board repair, please be on the lookout for that. We got another refrigerator class coming up the second week of October, and I got a washer and dryer class second week of September. It's going to be small, but it's open if you want to come on that. More info to follow. Details will be in the link. With all that out the way, let's talk about today's episode. So I'll tell you a quick story about this evaporator. This is no lie. I had one of my competitors that subs me out a lot. They said, "Brother B, we need you to swap out an evap. Can you do it for me?" But I didn't troubleshoot it. I didn't diagnose it. They just told me, go do that. And they pay me for my services. So recall or no recall, it's out of my problem. Now, if it's a recall with something I did, then yeah, I'll go back and fix it. But if this wasn't the issue, my competitor was willing to deal with that. He was that confident, he or she was that confident that this was their problem. I never followed up with them, so I guess they were correct. So I guess it does have a leak in theory. But I thought it would be a wonderful time to go ahead and test it and show you guys how to do this. Now, one thing about like seal system work, it's very calculated in my opinion. You got this whole system. You got this compressor, condenser, capillary, filter dry, evap, and you got Yoder. You got all these different things going in this enclosed copper tube system, and you got a lot of moving pieces and stuff. So to identify a leak is kind of hard. You would have to break the system in half and try to find your leak, what side it's on, your high or your low. But let's say you get lucky and you do decide that you found it on your evaporator, right? There's a way to test it. You can pressurize the unit while you're in the customer's home, and you can put soap and bubbles. I have some of that. Let me show you guys. Some guys use this stuff here, this cow blue micro leak detector. They'll put about, I don't know, 100 psi nitrogen. They'll start spraying it. They'll start looking for bubbles. They'll use a leak detector, and all that's cool. It's multiple ways to skin a cat. But this method is a little bit more time consuming, but it's more accurate because you've isolated this one component from the entire system. So by you doing that, you rule out everything else and you can focus on your one component here, which is your evaporator. So, you know, what we're gonna do now to do this test is we're gonna hook up two little access valves, right? We're gonna put one here and we're gonna put one here, right? We're gonna solder them, then we're gonna pressurize them. I got the nitrogen for that. We're gonna pressurize them and we're gonna do a leak test. When we do the leak test, we're gonna look for bubbles at our joints that we soldered. After we do that, we'll release the nitrogen. Then we'll put the unit in. We'll put this in a vacuum itself. We'll look at our gauge and we'll see if our gauge holds a vacuum. If it does, then it wasn't the evaporator that was the problem. If it does not hold the vacuum, then yeah, this is your issue. So again, guys, this is today's show. Go ahead and please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe. Let's go ahead and begin today's show. All right. So before I go ahead and do this, we want to prepare the situation here. I forgot to get sandpaper. Bear with me. I got some sandpaper. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button. So I got some sandpaper right here. If you don't know what sandpaper to get, this is what I'm going to tell you. Go to your supply store and just ask them. The one they carry is the one you need. That's a simple way to do it. All right. Now this evaporator, it got two lines, right? You got the one coming off your filter dryer, your capillary tube. That's this one here, the one in the front. And then as it passes through the coils, it has to return to the compressor. It does that out of this one here. All right. This one still has a little bit of the capillary in it because I basically just cut it. I'm not going to try to solder that out, but I'm going to have to now. Or I could just go right over it. We'll try to get it out. I need a pair of pliers. Alright, let's get this show. I want to send a special shout out to TMM Academics Class 01. Special shout out to the valedictorian, Mrs. Rankin. Very sharp sister. Shout out to everybody that attended. Awkward angle to work out. What I pulled out, y'all, this was the capillary, the old remnants of the capillary. Like I said, I basically just cut it. I didn't do this on the job. But here's the remaining, that's of the old capillary. Alright? I'm going to have to redo this though. It's a little hot right now. So we'll give it a break. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my access valve in here, but you know what? I'm going to remove this core. There's a little core in there. You always got to remove it. There's my core removed too. I thought I had everything set up, but we got it. We're gonna make it. This ain't repair clinic, y'all. This is the field, real deal. Man, where the hell is my if it ain't one thing, it's a damn nothing. Hold on 1 second. My bad, y'all. I'm looking for my core removal tool. Never mind, the show must go on. Improvise. Alright, so in case you don't know, there is a device to remove this. You always want to remove your core. I didn't bring my tools with me, y'all. They're in my van, so I don't have this in the shop. But you always want to remove this core inside, but we're going to have to do it with it in place. Alright? Once you got that guy in there, you want to bite down a little bit, right? Just a little bit. Can you get the camera, please? No, I'm right here. Alright, go. Release this here. Alright, then this raises. Alright, so look, can you zoom in on this part here? Do it over, go around here. There you go. And like raise the camera up. Beautiful. So right here. So as y'all see, what I did was I had to pinch this little piece here because it was, you know what I'm saying, it was too big. So what I did was I just went ahead and pinched right here. Boom. You know what I'm saying? To make it a little tight. So now that I did that, I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of these guys. Soldering rods. This is the 15. Alright. Again, you always want to remove this guy in here. This is called the core. Can you put the right here? This little valve. You always want to remove that. But again, I don't have the tool for some reason. I left it in my van. I apologize. But for today, we'll have to do it with it in place. So let's go ahead and begin our solder. All right, can you back up just a little bit? Thank you. All right. Y'all hit the like button. All right, so now we got this guy on here. What we're gonna do is warm it up a little, right? Come closer. You'll see this begin to liquefy. And you only need a little bit. And then once you get that little bit, that's it. You don't wanna make no big bubble. That's it right there. That'll work right there. Wonderful. Alright? Now, we're gonna do the same thing right here. I'm not sure if I cleaned that with sandpaper or not, so let's just twice. Oh yeah, twice don't hurt. This joint hot, so be careful, y'all. Alright. Wonderful. Alright, let's put one of these guys in here. Remember, you always want to remove this, but I don't have the tool with me for it. I'll do it in a separate video. Alright, this one's pretty simple. You want to put it on here. You could give it a little bite if you want, just a little tiny one, a little tiny bite. Just a little tiny bite. You know what I'm saying? So that's on there now. Go ahead and heat it up. And again, you never want to put no evaporator in no vise because you could create a leak by doing that. I just did it very light, very light. You know, I barely have it on here. I'm not digging into this evaporator with this vice grip. I'm barely propping it on there because I could create a leak myself doing that. All right. I should be wearing my safety goggles. I have to practice what I preach. Bear with me, y'all. I need to come out with a pair of Louis or Fendi's for this so that we can look fly while we doing this. Alright. YouTube streaming. So here we are. I like to see it get a little red. Again, just a little bit. That's all you need, a little bit. That's it. She's on there. Alright, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's a crappy job. You know how we're gonna find out? We're gonna let it cool for a bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and pressurize this thing. You know what I'm saying? So while that's cooling down, let's talk about what pressurizing means. So here I have my nitrogen tank. That's this guy over here. It has two sets of gauges. This is the nitrogen tank. This is the regulator. It has two sets of gauges. This gauge here to my right tells me how much my tank should have. A good tank should have about 2,000 PSI. Let's see what we got. Oh. We got about half a tank. Alright? And then right here to the left, this tells me my PSI. With these refrigerators, follow me please. I like to show the group something. Alright, right here. Ring. Alright, so if you guys could see here, right, here's a data tag. If you notice here, it says that my low side is at 140 PSI. So I'm not trying to exceed that. I'm not gonna exceed that. But I don't know how much I'm putting into the unit. So that's why I use this regulator to monitor how much goes into the unit. You know what I'm saying? So with that out the way, for this evaporator, I'm gonna keep it to about 60, 70 PSI. I just wanna make sure I ain't got no leak where I soldered, that's it, all right? So with that said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook that up. All right, and then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna cap one of these bad boys off. Alright, and then we're gonna put some in here nice and easy. check though. Hold on 1 second. Alright, beautiful. So now what we're gonna do is, we could use this stuff, that blue bottle. I'm really not a fan of that though, guys. I like something else. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all the stuff I live in that bottle. That's cool, that blue bottle, but I use something else. Hold on. Let me show y'all what I use. This is what I stand by. This is what I'm gonna use. If I'm gonna use something, I'm gonna use this right here. This is from a company called the Versatech. This is leak finder. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it right here. I'm also gonna put some here. You know where I did my work at. Right? Alright, now let's turn on Alright, so first step, make sure everything is closed, your gauges is closed, make sure your tank is closed. Now let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, so she's open. Okay. Okay, so I'm at 120 PSI. Alright. So I'm at, but I want to bring it a little bit down. I don't want that much. I'll take that. Right below 100. Alright, so now I'm going to open this up. That's open. Now I'm going to make sure this is, so now I'm going to fill it up a little bit. Beautiful. Okay. So let's disconnect it here. I'm gonna tell you where we at. All right, so we about 30 PSI right now. 30 PSI, right? I don't see no bubbles, I don't see nothing. Looking good. Let's check, let's double check. Now, if I want, I don't see nothing. Looking good. If I want, I could, in theory, take this time to spray this down. I've seen some guys take it and put it in a bucket of water and look for little bubbles coming up. I've seen it all in the field, but I don't know. I like using this method. So what I'm gonna do now is, again, I use digital gauges. So right now it's telling me 30.8, 30.7. Make sure everything is tight. 30.6, 30.5, 4. So I'm starting to see it drop. That's a little alarming. But that ain't because of what my work. It could be just that the evaporator legitimately had a leak. And we're gonna put it in a vacuum too. See, it's at 30.4, 30.3. So you can see it slowly starting to drop. Alright. It kind of stayed, it's kind of sticking at that for a little while. This takes a little while, guys. This is a patience game. Alright? This is a patience game. Can y'all see that? I'm trying to set this up. There you go. Oh shit. It's already at 30.2 now, so it's starting to move. Can they see that? The numbers? Let me put this light. This light don't work? There's some crap. There we go. Can they see it now? Alright, cool. So I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit, guys. Go grab some popcorn. We're gonna take like a 2-minute intermission, and we're gonna come back and see where it's at. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to find a core removal tool, because I know I got one here. It's just lost in the sauce. So give me a second while that thing is being pressurized, and we'll look at the numbers when we get back. 2-minute intermission. I found it. You can't keep a good man down. Thank you. Alright. So guys, I found my core removal tool. I want to talk to y'all about it. Like I like to say, talk about it. So here's your little valve. This is my core removal tool. Basically, when I was saying to remove them, you just want to. You always want to do this when you doing all of that soldering and stuff, because you'll burn up the little gasket here that will create leaks. But again, this is just for testing purposes. I got a bag of these. I could just swap those out, you know. But you always want to keep one of these core removal tools handy. Alright, so it's been a few minutes now. My manifold's at 30 psi, so you know it's dropping in the tenths. I'm gonna give it one more second to see if it goes to 29. This is why I like digital, because analog, it's hard to see that on the needle. The 30. Alright, so she's holding on to 30, which is okay. But still, we're gonna remove all the nitrogen and we're gonna put it in a vacuum. Again, I'm only doing this pressure test, again, just to check my work here. That's the only reason I'm doing this. This isn't the definitive way to see if this has a leak or not. A vacuum test would be more desirable. Alright, so I'm done with this test. Look, she stayed at 30 though. She didn't move. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a small leak. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see now. Let's put it in the vacuum. Alright, so I like to do my test with nitrogen, because you could just release it. You don't gotta recover it. Alright. Now let's go ahead and we're gonna do a vacuum on it. we're gonna hook this up to my vacuum pump. I want to talk a little bit about vacuum pumps real quick. It's always good to change the oil on them. Keep them at the right level. And you want to change your oil periodically after so many times that you use it. Alright, so I got everything set up. Alright, let's turn this on. Open these two up. Alright, can you bring the camera? Let me explain what I'm doing here. So what I'm doing here is make sure everything is all tight. Alright. So what I'm doing is making sure all my connections is tight. You don't want no air really coming in this. Alright, so you're noticing that they're going, it looks like negative, but it's really inches vacuum and mercury. So what I'm gonna do is let this run for a few minutes, like a minute or two. I just wanna see if it will hold these numbers. Is this screen clear on the camera, or do I need to wipe it down? Let me wipe it down. Alright, let's go on a 2-second intermission. Let me clean that screen for you guys. Should be able to see that. Alright, let's take a look at the gauges here. Alright, let's go ahead and turn off what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and close my manifold. Alright, so my manifold is closed. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my vacuum pump. I'm gonna close these valves. And basically, I'm gonna leave this alone and I'm gonna watch these numbers. So go ahead and let's watch this gauge here. And what we're gonna look for it to wanna climb towards 0. So 14.3, 14.2, 14.1. Again, if you using digital, if you're using analog, let me show you what that would look like. If it was this is a beat up set we had just laying around, guys. This isn't in service any longer. So, but again, if you were using analog, it would just start. It would be in this vacuum here, and then it would try to want to raise towards 0. That's how you know you getting air coming in. So again, it would look like this. In digital, we looking at numbers. And they look pretty good. So again, this here I'm gonna wait like a few minutes. Because if it's a really small leak, it may take time to expose itself. But this is how you test an evaporator. You can do this same exact test on a condenser. You can do this test on your capillary tube. You can go to the back of the unit where it plugs into the filter drum and go right here on the evaporator and disconnect it there and there. Do this same test. So, you know, once you learn how to like do this test, you can kind of compartmentalize all of your components and check them for leaks. But look, she ain't even budging. She's looking good. She's looking good. Not moving. Again, I always like to give it a few seconds. And then what I'm probably gonna, no, I don't want to destroy it, but I was gonna actually create a little hole in it myself to show y'all how it would look. If this holds vacuum, this evaporator is good. And I'm gonna put a hole in it myself and show you how those numbers would look like that. Go ahead, put the camera back on. She ain't moving again. I think that evaporator is good money. Let me read some of these comments. Let me get the phone. Thank you. Let me see what's up. Let me tap in. Oh, we in the building. Kix Lopez, what's good, Kix? Arzu Enzu, what's good, brother, man? Check in from Hawaii. Aloha. We got Leo. Leo, what's good? Provocative. Krill. Perdia. Is it commercial or residential evap systems? Brother, it really don't matter because this test could be performed on any system. You know what I'm saying? We live. Alright, let me see. What's good, Scat? Appreciate it. Yup, you already charged up. What's good? How long do you pressure test in the field? Again, I pressure tested just for this, bro. Just to look at my joints. You see that? That looked like it got a hole in it, but nah, I knew it was solid. That's why I pressure tested it. I pressure tested for this. That's why I did it. This isn't conclusive for a vacuum, but look. My manifolds ain't even moving. Alright, let's see. Alright. Kix, you should be charging. This is valuable. Kix, man, thank you, man. We do, man. Come on down, check us out, tmmacademics.com. Next refrigerator class, second week of October. Charged up. Shout out to the camera team. You all ready. Dennis, what's up, man? Thanks for joining Voxer, man. Afruman, KOS Appliance, HVAC Repair. Okay, that's what's up, man. Out of DC, that's what's good, man. Shout out to the DC area, man. You know what I mean? All right, so look where we at. All right, guys. So this is looking pretty good, man. This evaporator, in my opinion, don't got no This evaporator ain't got no leak, man. This is a good evaporator. So what we gonna do is, give me 1 second, y'all. Pardon me. 1 second. One second, y'all. Put this camera back. All right, let me finish the conclusion here. Bear with me, I'm setting my camera up. My bad, y'all. Fuck me. Thank you. All right. Shout out to the camera team in the building. You all ready? We in the field. This is not repair clinic. This is the real deal. All right, we back. We active. All right. So again, my manifold, it remained in vacuum. The pressures remained the same. So they say you should wait like 30 minutes. But man, if you would have seen a leak, you would have seen something by now at least. Even 1/10, but it's the same number that it was before. So I don't think this thing got any leak. But that's how you would pressure test it, guys. So let's go ahead and complete the test. Again, I'm gonna say that this is a good evaporator. This evaporator don't got no leaks. there you have it, guys. Here's the evaporator. Very simple way to test it. Again, you want to put 2 access valves. Before doing that, again, you want to remove your core before doing any soldering. If it was in such a vacuum, I could hear it still hissing. There you go. But there y'all have it, man. That's how you would pressurize. That's how you would pressure test this thing, and that's how you would put it in a vacuum. So the conclusion is, this does not have a leak. I could have put it in a longer vacuum, maybe 30 minutes. We only had it for like 10, but still, I didn't even see it budge. So it looks pretty good to me, but in the field, you want to take the full 30 minutes. We in class, we on YouTube. I don't want to waste y'all time, But in the field, you want at least 30 minutes, keep it in the vacuum. And that's how you would do this repair, y'all. So again, if y'all enjoyed today's lecture, and you want to, not this week, but the one on top, every other week we do live hands-on. If you want to be a part of this, please sign up with tmmacademics.com. Today's is public just because we want to start rolling out this kind of new training that we're doing, as opposed to the old style that we was like in our office or somewhere trying to teach through Zoom, They're going to look like this, these trainings from now on. It'd be me or Rick, so, or both of us. So if you want to see stuff like that, please tmmacademics.com. I want to thank y'all for joining me on Saturday. Again, just to summarize, first, step 1, you want to clean your areas, hook up your access valves, remove the cores from them. I showed you how to do that. I showed you how to, solder them on. Once they soldered on, you want to go ahead and pressure test it. I put about 40-50 psi in there. After that, I used the leak detector around where I did my joints. I didn't see any bubbles, which leads me to believe I had a good, good job I did. After that, I released all of the nitrogen into the air. And then I grabbed my vacuum pump from both sides. I pulled the vacuum and I watched my gauge, and it didn't climb back towards 0. It remained in vacuum. So that leads me to believe that my evaporator is good, and that same test could be done to your condenser, capillary, Yoda, anywhere in the seal system. There y'all have it, guys. I'm glad y'all tuned in today. Love, peace, and harmony. I'll see y'all next week. Interview from Board Busters, my good friend Tony. If you want to learn how to repair your own boards, he'll be on the show next week. We'll do a sit down with him. And there you have it, guys. Until then, in the meantime, in between time, love, peace, and harmony. Signing out. Enjoy y'all Saturday.